I'm going to have a go at recording my homemade gramophone. Well, partly homemade. Here's the microphone, which is actually stereo, even though it's a tiny little thing. Well, here's the gramophone. Starting at the sound box. Sound box is an HMV 5A, which I reckon is the best sound box you can get. I've got a rubber coupling between the sound box and the rest of the tone arm. This is something that was recommended by the Gramophone magazine back in the 1920s. They called it the Lifebelt. I've also made a counterbalance here. This is another thing that the Gramophone magazine recommended in the 20s. I've got two settings on it. For steel needles, which I've got in at the moment, the weights are like that, but when I use fibre needles I slide this one back a bit to reduce the playing weight. Funnily enough, that's the opposite of what the Gramophone used to recommend. Also, I've got here a quink tube which acts as a sort of high frequency filter. It does actually work. EMG gramophones use them, and I've got one too. That funny weight at the end, all that does is balance out the weight on the bearing here, because the bearing is a PTFE ring, and that weight helps to balance out the forces on it to help keep it sealed. Unfortunately, this isn't a roller bearing. This bit, I made this bit. This is a one-off alloy casting. The horn is papier-mâché. The tone arm is taken from a cabinet gramophone. I'm not sure what make. It's upside down. It used to go into the cabinet. The motor, I think it's a Garrard. I must admit, I can't actually remember. And the cabinet is homemade. Okay, time to give it a go. This is Turner Layton.
Dusty shoes were pounding the street again. Dusty shoes, oh when do we eat again? Stick with me till I'm on my feet again. Dusty shoes, though we're in a hole again, won't be long. In clover we'll roll again. You and I will build up our soul again. Dusty shoes, we'll be working on the railroad. Get up when the sun starts a-shining, with a sky all full of rainbows, a pocket full of silver lining. Oh, dusty shoes, we'll soon stand in line again, not for bread, but punching the time again, with a dime to spare for a shine again, you dusty shoes. Once I had a pair of shoes all shiny patent leather, and they're the shoes I'm wearing. But sleeping out on benches soon exposed them to the weather. They're still the shoes I'm wearing. So every night I try to think of happy things to say. I cover them with paper and I comfort them this way. Dusty shoes were pounding the street again. Dusty shoes, oh when do we eat again? Stick with me till I'm on my feet again. Dusty shoes, dusty again, won't be long. In clover we'll roll again, you and I will build up our soul again. Dusty shoes will be working on the railroad. Get up when the sun starts to shining, with a sky all full of rainbows, a pocket full of silver lining. Dusty shoes will soon stand in line again, not for bread, but punching the time again, with a dime to spare for a shine again. You dusty shoes.
I've just noticed that I've left the counterbalance on the wrong position. Should have been there. So that roughly balances out the weight of the tube and my little bit of rubber here. I don't really want too low a playing weight with steel needles. Anyway, there we go. Oh, I should say that this gramophone sounds pretty good. Sometimes as good as, if not better than, the HMV 163 it sits on.